Hello fellow plant lovers, Mike's Greenhouse here. This is my first proper video for Mike's Greenhouse, and it's going to be a greenhouse slash garden tour. So I thought we'd start it in the greenhouse. I do have a second one which we'll get to later on in the video, but for now this is the main greenhouse. So basically I grow a lot of plants, as you can probably see from in front of you, in this greenhouse. I sell quite a lot of them. My hopes are that eventually, and it's worked already, I've managed to buy one greenhouse, that I can keep expanding, buying more greenhouses to fit more plants in, because, well, horticulture is my passion. So we'll start in here and we'll move through to all the different parts of the garden. So here is my first seed sowing area. I have Chinese lanterns or physalis seeds planted just here, and then here I have gazania seeds, verbena seeds, begonia seeds at the back, and tomato gardener's delight at the back left there. So this is my first seed area. I do have more seeds. These are my most recent ones that I've sown, but there are a lot more. So here are some seedlings. They're either tomato seedlings or pepper seedlings. I believe they're tomatoes, but I could be wrong. Basically, these were accidentally sown because I keep giant African land snails. Sorry about the wind, there is a storm going on there. But I keep giant African land snails, fed them both peppers and tomatoes, and these germinated a few days later. So it could be that there's a mixture of both, but I'm pretty sure these are tomatoes. And then at the back there I have a celery leaf plant and a lemon balm. So a couple of herbs there I keep too. Here are my pansies. These are all eventually to be sold. I'm just growing them on in these little trays for now, and then eventually I'll sell them in these 6-slot trays. These are my wallflower. They're in trays of 4 at the minute. If you would like to know exactly what they are Wallflower Wizard. I got these as plug plants, and again I'm just growing them on to sell later on in the year. Here are another variety of Chinese lantern plants or physalis. These ones are edible. The other seeds I'm not sure if they are or not. I'll have to research about them. But these ones are definitely edible. They're just some cuttings that I took a little while ago. They've all rooted now, so hopefully in a little while they'll all grow and I'll be able to start selling those too. So at the back I have 15 raspberry canes. They're all bare root, and as you can see quite a lot of them now are forming quite a few leaves. And then just in front here, all around this sort of area, are 36 strawberry bare root plants. Here I have a citrus plant, or citrus tree, and as you can see it does have a fruit. These are an experiment of mine. They're just some little carnivorous plants. Don't really know how they are here. They basically just germinated in some of my larger carnivorous pots, so I thought I'd pot them up. There's also some sphagnum moss and things like that in with it too, but again they're just accidental. Here I have some aubergine seeds which I recently sowed. There's nothing of them so far, but hopefully eventually there'll be something. So here on the left here I have tomato croix de Bue seedlings. I've probably completely massacred the pronunciation of that. Then on the right I have some catmint seeds. Here I have leek musselburgh seedlings. As you can see, they're doing really well actually, and I will have to be potting these up very soon. And then here on the left I have Salvia Blaze of Fire, and on the right I have red cherry tomato seedlings. Here I have onion Bedfordshire champion seeds, I believe. Yeah, and these are again doing quite well, although I don't think I'll be potting these up for a little while. I want them to get a bit bigger. These here are pineberry seeds, and any good horticulturalist would know that pineberry seeds never become pineberries. I didn't know this when I purchased them, although I have learnt that since and won't make the mistake again. Here you can very clearly see that I have some basil seeds. These were planted yesterday, so obviously no germinations yet, but in a few weeks we should begin to see some small plants. Here we have Aquilegia seeds, and again I only sowed these yesterday, so no growth yet, but again in a few weeks we should be seeing some nice small plants forming. Here is my cucumber cloche. This was a bit of an experiment. So far no cucumbers, only small weeds. I'm leaving these grow purely because it's possible that these are the cucumbers, and if that is the case then I don't want to get rid of them. But they are most likely weeds. So now we move on to my cuttings bench. Here I have quite a few different cuttings of different types of geraniums, and towards the back there are some more succulent cuttings, which I'll show you in just a minute. Here are all the plants that I take my geranium cuttings from. I have all sorts of plants here at the back, for example, just up here. I have a climbing geranium, I have some scented geraniums in here, and then just your normal house and flowering geraniums here. It's a fairly good variety, and I'm hoping to expand the varieties I have very soon. Here are some little succulent cuttings I took a little while ago, and as you can see they're all growing very well. Here I have even more seeds. These are sweet pea, as you can see here, many of which have just begun to germinate. Here I have more onions. Obviously these ones are a lot further along, but they are just your normal onion bulbs or cuttings that you get, not cuttings, tubers that you get. Here I have even more sweet pea, and once again these are growing very well. Here I just have a couple of old succulents. I'm sort of just leaving them in here as they're very tatty. For example, this one was a nice plant that looked a lot like this, although the slugs got it very badly. Here I have one chocolate mint and a second chocolate mint. They are very slightly different varieties, but pretty much the same. Here I have a Gymnostemma pentaphyllum, I believe they're called. Basically just a climbing herbaceous plant, also known as the plant of the immortals in Chinese culture. Very good for your health when drunk in a herbal tea. Here are my Polyanthus firecracker. I did have about 20 of these, although I have put a lot of these outside now as they were beginning to flower. Here I have another little experiment. These are what are known as everlasting sweet pea. My hopes are that they are going to live up to their name and last at least for a very long time, if not forever. Here are the few cuttings I spoke about earlier. Here I have another variety of Physalis. This one definitely cannot be eaten. So if you find these, don't eat these. Here I have some slightly older strawberry bare root plants. As you can see, they've done a lot better. Here I have some wallflower and salvia. I also have this camellia and a lot of terracotta pots. This is my compost potting tray. This is where I store all of my pots. These are all 9 centimeters. About 1,000 in there. A spider plant which is waiting to be potted up. Here I have a propagator with some more geranium cuttings and Christmas cactus cuttings. I'm not going to stay out here too long as the wind is really overpowering, so I'm not sure how well you can hear me, but I have all sorts of cuttings here, from herbs to Griselinia, that type of stuff, Buddleia, some different Pittosporum things there, Hechera, Hebe. Now, obviously we've just finished the big greenhouse. This is my dog Poppy. Poppy, come here. Come here, Poppy. Yeah, so this is my dog Poppy. And here's another raised bed I have. This one actually has more onions in it, and a lot of other seeds here. I'll give you an update on those at another time. I also have a soft fruits area, which as you can see the wind has damaged all of the canes, so I'll have to put those back up later. I have this little flower bed at the front of the greenhouse here. Just some different bulbs and stuff planted in here. Nothing too special, so I won't go into detail. You may be recognising quite a lot of things like this, especially from my trailer. These are a bit different to the pictures from the trailer because it's been a few weeks since I did those, but they're pretty much the same. And now into my second greenhouse. So this one is a 6x8 greenhouse. It is second hand, but it works perfectly. Sorry about the bad focus then. So this is my cactus greenhouse mainly, and succulent. I have all sorts of different types, house leeks. These are the carnivorous plants I talked about, which I got the mini carnivorous plants from. Giant aeonium there. Lots of larger cactus back here. These are my sail cactus here, under here, and here. I also have more sail cactus here. Then up here I have some cuttings of cactus that are doing, and succulents that are growing very well actually. Some kiwi seeds. These were an experiment. Don't know how well they're working. My little pot bit here. Some sedums at the top. Lampranthus. Another aeonium. All sorts of plants down here. Terracotta pots at the bottom.